So funny because you sent me a message yesterday, or no, the other day when I was running, and
Oh, yeah.
like, oh my gosh, I think we haven't talked, we haven't collaborated. What's it gonna, is this what
Is
it's
this
gonna
the
feel like?
foreshadowing of days to come? Are we falling apart? Is our relationship over?
Should we get into some of these other questions? What do you
Yeah,
think?
let's go for it. She wants to know about packing for January for the Dopey Challenge. Considering the weather can be like all over the place, hot, cold, everything in between. So here's what I do. I take big gallon size baggies, and I have one for extreme cold weather. And in it, I will have like the cold gear, long sleeve, long pants, gloves, knit hats, throwaways too. Like Rundisney does collect clothes that are discarded either before or during the race. I pack all of this stuff, and then I'll have another baggie with chilly weather clothes, like a lighter long sleeve, lighter long pants. And then I'll have another one for really hot days, because you honestly cannot tell. I know we've learned that lesson where we've packed when the forecast was great. Jackie and I get down there, and all of a sudden cold front comes in and we're screwed, and we're going, we're looking for clothes to borrow from friends. So now I take everything.
Yeah. 37 degrees was fine. Like, I'm used to that. I live that. That's my favorite temperature to run in. 16-mile-an-hour gusts, that sucked the life out of me.
Yeah.
That's what I think, when you're talking about costumes, honestly, if you're talking about a major change in the weather for which you are not prepared, don't worry about your costume.
Yes.
You keep yourself comfortable enough. I personally, and I know a couple of other people had dealt with this too on marathon morning. I was ready to go to medical. I was this close to not starting the race because I was not prepared for the cold weather.
Right.
So I love your tip about bringing everything.
I bring it. I've learned my lesson. And even if the weather calls for 80s, I'm still bringing it in January and February. Wine and dine, you don't have to be as severe, but January, February, yes, definitely. Yeah. Oh, here's a good one. I'm going to ask this one first because this is fun. What different themes running weekends would you like to see Rundisney do? That's a good question from Natalie.
I love that. I have two that I would love to see. First one is,
let me hear yours first.
A pirate theme. Pirates of the Caribbean, Pirates of the Caribbean, and you can kind of squint and tilt your head and see, that Tinkerbell could kind of have a pirate theme to it, but like pirates, like for real pirates. Really, with the whole Pirates of the Caribbean movies, the ride, all of that, I think that would just be so much fun. You get Peter Pan in there too. And then the other one would be villains.
Me, that was one. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Villains. Wouldn't that be cool or what?
Hey, who's your favorite villain?
Oh, that's tough. I got a soft spot for Gaston, even though he's a jerk.
Yeah. Well, that's
the bad boys. What is it about bad boys?
He's the bad boys. See,
he is a handsome man.
I tell you who my favorite villain is. Maleficent's got to be my favorite villain.
That would be, that would be like Tower of Terror.
Mm-hmm.
Because that had like that, the underwritten villains theme, and it was so much fun.
That would be fun.
I would love to see that. All right. Natalie also wants to know, what advice do you ladies have for people doing Rundisney the first time? That's going to be like a 2-hour show.
Well, no, you know what? Well, I'll tell you what.
Okay, let's condense it.
Go back into, we will leave a bunch of links. So let's see if we can break it down into 3 pieces of advice that are unique.
Okay, first stage, I would say research. You don't want to go into this blind without knowing what to expect. Mm-hmm. Definitely that includes watching the videos and reading blog recaps. Watching blog video recaps is a great way to learn about the race.
Yeah.
Joining Facebook groups. If, say, you're doing the Princess Half Marathon, do a search on Facebook for that race weekend. You're going to find a ton of groups that you can join that's full of other first-timers. And so, do your legwork first. So I'll take that one. You go for the next.
This kind of goes into that. Read the event guide when it comes out.
Yes.
Comb it. Like, sit down with a computer and just that's your nighttime reading. Really look at it, because,
Mhm.
and Gerald Resnick over at Res Runs just did his virtual event guide walkthrough, and he really pointed out what's important: your safety, and your costume rules, making sure there are no changes, because a lot of people, like in these Facebook groups, will say, oh, well, last year it was like this, but Run Disney can change anything at any time.
Yeah.
So read the event guide for that event, and you will definitely have a leg up.
I would say too, the number one tip for while you're there is to be early. Get there early. I don't care if it's for, the race, anything. Always get there early, because you never know. There might be traffic issues. There might be bus issues. There might be a backup at security. You might, get there, not feel well, need the bathroom break. Just always get there early. I say this because my first Princess Half, I got to the bus stop later than I should have, and we got stuck in traffic. I was in the A crowd that year, so as soon as the bus stopped, I had to run as hard as I could, all the way from the bus stop all the way to the crowd, which is about like a mile and a half walk, just to get to my crowd and make it in time. And I was so stressed out and so traumatized. And here's my big race. I've been planning for this for a year, and I blew it. So long story short, get there early.
But I think, and then my next tip would kind of follow on that, is like, you get there early, you can relax and enjoy the experience.
There's
and
so much.
There is so much about a Run Disney race. And now, if you're coming at your first Run Disney race, having experience with other races, your local 5Ks, half marathons, whatever, it's very different than a Run Disney race. If you are used to, if you're a relatively experienced runner and you're coming at these races with the expectation that they're competitive, let that go, because they are not competitive at all. There are a lot of walkers. There are a lot of run walkers. And the whole idea is that everyone should be enjoying their experience.
Yes.
Which means that we have to kind of allow for a little bit of grace around the people who are not experiencing it the same way you are. So if we can all just kind of relax and chill into it.
Yep.
One of the things I love about Run Disney races is that they are designed for first timers.
Yes.
First time runners. And
they're
really
very conducive. My last bit would be, very quickly, wear a costume. Don't ever think you're going to be in the minority if you wear a costume. If anything, you are going to be exact opposite. And also take it all in. It can be overwhelming. It can be a lot. So on your first time, just take a breath, like you said, and take it all in.
Yeah.
You have a blast.
Exactly. And I think I guess my last bit of advice would be, plan around like it. And this, I'm going to do a video about this, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up for us. But I want to talk at length about how you manage a racecation and a Disney vacation. Go into the whole time that you're there, whether it's a few days or a week, with a plan that is going to be conducive for you as a runner. Because that was the first mistake I made at Avengers 2 years ago, that I was on my feet. It was my first time at Disneyland. It was my first Run Disney experience. I was doing 3 back-to-back races. I had no idea how bad my feet were going to hurt by the end of that weekend. And so go in with a plan.
Yes.
That includes recovery time.
Kayla asked, how'd y'all start running and what brought you to the sport?
We had this conversation with Gerald, didn't we?
Yes.
Let's see. My short story would be, how did I start running? I was a triathlete first. And one day I was recently separated and I went running and I loved it. And that was the day I became a runner. It was just something that was therapeutic for me. And I realized it's something that I needed, as a mom, as someone who just needed to feel fit and get strong. So that's part of, it's not just about physical fitness, it's about mental and emotional fitness for me. So that's how and the why I started, really.
There you go. I wasn't a runner ever in high school, when I was in my 20s, whatever. And I think it was like my late 30s. It was 2012. And somehow I stumbled upon the topic of Princess Half Marathon, and I did a Google search, and I saw all these pictures of women wearing pink tutus and tiaras and boas, and it was just like, oh my gosh, does this world really exist? And I was so blown away. At the time, I wasn't in a good place. I had depression and I had eating disorder, so it was probably the lowest point in my life. And I saw those women. I'm like, oh my god, I want to be that woman. I want to be the type of woman who can wear a tutu and a tiara and run these races and have friends. I didn't have friends, and it just shook me to the core. And I signed up for my first princess race, and there you go. Yeah, that was 2013. So I fell in love with Rundisney before I fell in love with running.
And I've said it before. I'll say it again. Rundisney is a gateway drug.
Yes.
To running. It's like I came at it the opposite direction. I mean, I was a runner before I found I found Rundisney, but I was already well on my way to being competitive against myself and really pushing myself toward big goals. And when I found Rundisney, it was like, okay, well, I'm going to work and work and work and work and work. And then when I'm done with all that work, I'm going to take a little break and I'm going to go to Rundisney. And so that's kind of how I found Rundisney. Real quick shout out to those of you who are doing Wine and Dine this coming weekend. Have fun, be safe, watch the weather. It doesn't look like it's going to be very much fun, but I'm hoping that you guys have good weather.
Get some character pictures for me.
Character pictures, because Laura doesn't have enough.
No, I have very little.
She doesn't have very many at all. I mean, what is it, like 350? Really?
Well, 352, but who's counting?
But who's counting?
Right?
You had to. Apparently you were. So we were talking about the meetup, Trader Sam's, 5:00 Thursday, November 9th.
November 9th, yes.
Okay. That is our meetup at Trader Sam's. So Joyful Miles will be there. Kimberly Estabrook will be there. My channel will be there. I will be there. And my son and Dave will probably be at the pool. We're like right there because we're staying at the Disneyland. So
I know we're going to have to so crash, you guys.
Yeah. We, come over and play in our pool. And drink at our bar.
We getting a knock. Hey.
It's like, hey, come down. We're at Trader Sam's. We're at the Tiki Lounge. Come down. Like, okay, I'll be right there. Do that. So what are you doing for Halloween?
We're going to sit on our sofa and watch Law and Order until we fall asleep at about 9:15.
Yeah, see, your kids are growing.
We have no trick-or-treaters in our area, and my kids are in college. So that's pretty much, and my husband does not like going out for Halloween or dressing in costume. So
we live in a neighborhood that people come from all over the Denver metro area to trick or treat here.
Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, I told you before, I'm going to come and I will bring a big bag of candy and I just want to experience it once.
I have gotten like the 500 piece bag of candy and it's gone in an hour.
Oh my gosh.
It is crazy. It is so fun. There's no reason to go inside. Like you don't wait inside for the doorbell to ring. You sit on the steps.
I would totally do that.
It is so fun. So that's what we're doing tomorrow night. My son's going to be Baby Groot. Thank you so much on behalf of Laura and all the Joyful Miles crew. Thank you to all of our new viewers, our new subscribers, to everyone who commented through all of this and supported us in this little crazy project that we've had. Thanking our special guests. We've had Gerald Resnick on. We had Christine Hinton on. We had Ellie Kempton on. Thank you all so much for making this just the most amazing experience. It's also Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Yes.
Please be safe. Drive carefully. There are a lot of little chicklins running around getting candy. So just be safe. Have a great time tonight. Do you have anything to add to this whole awesome experience?
No, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I know we had some stressful moments there that we relayed quite frequently to each other, but it's really great. I mean, the one reason I love working with you is that you're so passionate about YouTube. You're so passionate about what you do. And I love the energy. And it's like, when I first started to watch your videos, I was like, oh my gosh, this gal is good. And you up my game and I up your game and we up everyone else. It's great working with a like-minded individual that has the same passion. So
and that's the great thing about the running community, and that's the great thing about the YouTube community, is that there's so much support happening, because for so many of us it's a hobby and this is just something we do for fun. We kind of stress out about it every once in a while, but and I feel the same way. It's like working with you has been just an absolute trip, and seeing just the back and forth and all of the viewers getting involved. And that was just so much fun to see all of that happen throughout the month of October. So I'm so glad we did it.
Yes.
I need a break.
So we're not doing Vlogmas? No?
You're not funny.
No?
No. I'm out of content, folks. So if you have questions that you would like to ask either of us, please leave them in the comment section down below, and any suggestions for future videos, because seriously, we are tapped out. I mean, we need ideas from you. So please leave some questions, thoughts, ideas in the comment section down below. I've left a ton of links to everything we've talked about also in the description. So if you haven't already, please give me that thumbs up and subscribe. Head over to Joyful Miles, subscribe to them as well. Check out a bunch of their Vlogtober videos. Laura, thank you so much. This was so much fun.
Thank you. This was a blast.
I know. And so we're going to sign off for Vlogtober. Thank you so much for watching. Get out there, go find your awesome.
Take care and have a joyful day.
We'll see you next time. And until then, happy running.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
It's Vlogtober. It's Vlogtober. That's the last time. That's the last time.
That.